Hey folks, Damon here at the Jackson Kayak Factory in Sparta, Tennessee. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the hottest new product on the kayak fishing market, the PowerPole Micro Anchor. And we're going to install it on the hottest kayak on the market, the Jackson Kayak Big Rig. Now, we've worked with the guys at PowerPole, done the development of the Micro. So the Big Rig is the only kayak on the market that comes just ready to bolt it right on. There's inserts on the back. We're going to go through how to install it, super quick, super easy. We have the battery management kit we're going to look at for the Big Rig, which lets you store your battery, how to power it up, look at some battery options, and get you on the water and power poling really quick. So like Jackson Kayak, PowerPole is made in USA down in Tampa, Florida. So what are the advantages of the PowerPole Micro? Well, one, it's automated stakeout system. It's quiet, it's fast, and it's secure. So their motto is the shallow water anchor is swift, silent, secure. Same thing applies even in the Micro unit. So let's look at what's inside the box. When you open it up, you'll find the owner's manual, a few stickers, catalog, guarantee of quality, a hard mountable control unit, a remote control unit, the main drive motor system, the mounting bracket, and then a box of hardware, your cable system, and the mounting axle system. Now to mount the main motor drive unit, what you're going to find is there's 4 nylon screws and inserts on the back. If you unscrew them, you'll see a stainless steel super heavy duty insert. So when we designed the Big Rig, we designed it to accept this bracket very easily, no need to drill holes at all. So you'll also notice there's a recess back here. This is so if you are using a rudder, or you want to mount 2, or you want to still have access to the anchor hole, you can offset this to one side. In that case, you still can use 2 inserts, but you have to drill 2 more holes so you can reach from the inside. So what you do is using a Phillips screwdriver, it's all you need to mount the bracket right there. Now you'll notice PowerPole in their kit, they provide a bunch of hardware for 3-mount applications. Don't need it, you can throw it away. All you need to mount it on the back of the Big Rig is 4 1/4-20, 1-inch long stainless steel bolts. So let's go ahead and install the bolts. So what you want to do is just kind of eye it up, get one started, just kind of loosely. Go to the opposite side. You want to just kind of locate each one and just get it started before you tighten any of them down. Okay, they're started now. We're going to keep them loose and we're going to come back and torque them and tighten them down. We'll tighten the bolts down now, they're all started. We'll go back and tighten them all down nice and tight. So that's it, bracket's secure. So this is where the mount then comes in, holds it right in place. So to hold the drive unit onto the motor, PowerPole provides this axle system. So you line that up, you're going to want the lever to be on the starboard side. We'll go into more detail as to why later. Push that in through. Mate's on the far side, then you have a disc that tightens on to the shaft. As you tighten it down, what this does is it lets the drive system pivot. So we'll go into details of why you want that to happen later, but when it's unlatched, this can fold forward, out of the way. When it's locked in place. This is for safety reasons, and so we're going to look at next is how to install the emergency release ball that attaches here, then up forward on the side of the Big Rig. Okay, so the emergency release system also comes in the bag of parts from PowerPole. Basically, it's just a cord that's attached to a ball socket. Now you're going to notice up on the Big Rig, there's another molded insert up here next to the front corner of the seat. This is where the ball attaches. Then you can run the cord here under the eyelets right to the lever. So if you're in a situation where you want the pole to release or fall forward, but you can't crawl back here or get to it to release the lever yourself, you can just reach down, grab this ball, pull it, that can fold, the whole system can fold down. So let's look at how to install this. So the socket for the ball comes pre-drilled. It's a little bit of a tight fit for the 5/8 inch quarter 20 bolt that comes in the Big Rig kit. So you can either drill it out a little bit or just press it through. In this case, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a quick drill bit, hollow it out a little bit to make pressing that bolt through even easier. Okay, so to mount the release ball, just again expose the insert here. My screws press through. Just gonna tighten that down in place. That's now mounted, and the ball just pops right in. So now that the ball's in place, what we're gonna do is we're gonna route the cord back to the lever on the side of the drive unit. So on the side, you'll notice there's a way to route the cordage through some eyelets on the back deck of the Big Rig, keep it nice and clean. There's a lot of extra cordage that comes in the cord itself. So what we're gonna do is feed this cord through these eyelets. You can see there. And then we're gonna tie it through the hole on the left. Tie your knot of choice. You can tie a knot on the far side so it can't pull through. In this case, I'm gonna wrap it around and tie a taut line hitch. Just 2 loops inside. One loop outside. Pull that tight. Now I can adjust the tension how I please. That's good. Now there's a lot of tag end here, so I'm just going to cut that tag in. Clean that up a little bit. Practice fire safety.
How bad is this one?
And done. Now let's talk about powering it, give it some juice. So, what are our options? Well, they give you the cable harness, comes with the power pole unit. Now, coming out this summer, there's going to be a really awesome DeWalt type battery style that just clips right on. No wiring, no external battery required. It'd be really slick. That's not available yet, but keep an eye out for it. So instead we have this cable harness, and what we recommend is a battery like this one from Kayak Fishing Supplies, which is a battery unit. It comes with a plug, external port, all in a nice dry Pelican case. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this up in the bow to help balance the weight. We're going to run the wiring harness to it. In this case, we're going to put that through the hull with a dry sealable cable pass-through. This also comes in the Big Rig power pole kit. And then in the very front, we're going to mount the battery inside using our battery management kit. So let's start doing that. Okay, so when you unbag the harness kit from PowerPole, what you're going to find is the main harness and an inline fuse and a marine crimp. So for now, to set the marine crimp, heat shrinkable crimp, and the fuse aside. We're going to talk about the harness. So bare ends and a plug that goes onto the face of the motor drive unit. So you have multiple options here. We provide a 1-inch dry pass-through. You can locate this where you want on the Big Rig. I put them here on the back. Some people, if they like sliding their boats upside down a lot, you might want to mount it on the inside wall of the stern well and run your cordage that way. This is the fastest, this is my preference, so what we're going to do today is we're going to install it right here behind the rear hatch. So, now to do that, this does require drilling a hole. Your other option is, and some people prefer this method, is you can just undo the hatch, wire through the inside, and just kind of run the cord up and over the lip and kind of force it closed back on the cord. It kind of looks a little funny, kinks the cord a little bit. Preference is yours. This is a much cleaner install. This is what we suggest. So, tool installed here is a 1-inch hole saw. You can use a spade bit. Hole saws work great. So we're gonna locate the pass-through. We're just gonna about center it in the back here. I'm gonna locate that, just drill right through the hull. Take plastic. There you go. So now I got my hole drilled on the back. I have my pass-through. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the nut off the back. Plastic nut. Just set that right in that hole. You can then go inside, easily reach it, tighten down from the inside. You can tighten it with a wrench, by hands, enough. And the way these pass-throughs work is, as you tighten from the top, you'll see this close around and seal around your cord. So now we're going to undo it, loosen it up all the way. Okay, so now on the cord itself, a couple options of how you want to route it to the front. Putting the weight in the battery in the front is my preference. Helps offset it because of easy access through the front hatch. And the Big Rig battery management system is designed to go through the front hatch. You could just put your battery, set it right in the back, plug to it, and be on the water. In this case though, we're going to feed the cord in. Feed all the cord we can through to the front. Now getting the cord to the front is the other tricky part. So, guys in the back showed me a neat trick, and that basically involves taking the free end, putting a vice grip to in it, and chucking it to the front. It works. If you want to route it outside of the scuppers, which is a nice way to keep the cord protected on the outside, and it's great for snagging rods, like putting them in and out, you can actually put a fishing rod in the front hatch, feed it to the back, tie it to the cord, pull it back out that way. You can also feed the cord in, stand the boat up on edge, and get the cord to feed down to the front, tape it down with duct tape, hold it, set the boat back down. A few ways to do it. In this case, we're going to feed a rod in from the front, tie it off, and pull it forward. Since I don't have a fishing rod here in the middle of our factory, but I am going to use the tool that I do have. That's a tape measure. So I'm going to go to the front, feed the tape measure in along the sidewall, back to the back, tie it off to the cord, pull it forward. So I'm taking my tape measure, and running it and letting it bring itself right along the sidewall. Walk to the back. There's my tape measure. Tie a couple knots in the cord. Kind of wind the end of the tape measure through those knots, just to give it enough resistance where it won't come free. Make it look nice and pretty. Joke. Back to the front. Now we're pulling it. I have my cord in the front. Okay, so now we've moved to the front, and we're going to look at how we're going to hook up power cord to the battery. So earlier we set aside the fuse and the crimp and everything that came from power pole. Now we're going to need those. So we're going to do the safe thing, and we're going to go ahead and install an inline fuse right onto the terminals from the cable harness. Now this comes with a terminal on one end and a bare end on the other. So it is pre-stripped. We'll pull that end of the little strip off. We'll pull the other strip off the positive for the main lead. Now there's a terminal end on the other. If you want a hard mount, the terminal end also comes from power pole. Now you can just install terminal ends and screw that on to a more traditional style battery. In our case, we're going to hook up the battery to the battery kit from Kayak Fishing Supplies, where it plugs in and out of the side very easily. So for now, we're just going to take and put the fuse in first. So this is an inline fuse. made to go on the positive end of the lead. So there's a marine grade heat shrinkable crimp that comes. Just feed that on one end, feed in the other end of the red line, crimp, heat shrink. So you're gonna want a proper crimping tool. In this case 16 gauge. So we're gonna take the one end, crimp that on to our bare wire. Take the other end from the fuse, crimp that in place as well. Now my inline crimp's in place. All I need is another lighter. This will shrink around, and these marine shrinks are nice. They have a little adhesive inside that gets activated when it gets hot. It helps really seal it well around the cord. So we now have our fuse in place. Now again, this comes with a terminal on one end. We don't need that. We're going to wire this to a plug. So what we're going to do is just come in and cut that crimp right off. A terminal off. Okay, so now we have two ends. We're going to need to strip the wire on the 16 gauge that we just cut. Other one's pre-stripped. Now you have a positive and negative ready to go. Okay, so the battery from Kayak Fishing Supplies comes with, when you open it up, an instruction sheet and an actual plug. This plug makes your life really simple. This designed with, it's got a positive and negative lead. The positive is the fatter one, and it goes right into the plug on the outside of the battery. So now with our exposed wires, all we need to do is, if you pull on the core, the sheath comes off and exposes the base. There's two set screws in there. What you got to do is loosen the set screws, put in your bare leads, tighten them back down. But what you want to do first is slide the sheath on over both of the wires. Sheath's there, we'll tighten this on. Positive goes to the fatter lead, negative goes to the smaller, and slip this back over the plug. We'll need a pretty small Phillips head for this, so we'll do the positive first. And again, the fatter lead. So we'll undo that set screw. If you look closely down in the hole, you'll see that screw move out. You don't want to go out to the point that the screw actually falls out. So then we're going to take the red lead, put it in that hole, go back and tighten that down, that set screw down nice and tight on the cord. We'll do the same with the black now. I'm going to back it out, insert the black lead, tighten it back down. Now I can slide my sleeve back over the plug, and we have a nice sealed plug. Now if you want to, you can go back and pot the inside of this with a silicone or other sealant to even lock that up even better. So now what we have is we have a plug that can go right in and out of the side of the battery. So what we're going to do is open the battery up. We're going to make sure we have a proper connection. So the battery that comes from Kayak Fishing Supplies will come unplugged in the terminals. So inside there will be two simple clip-on terminals. We're going to plug that on to one end, red on the red, black to black. Very simple. Lay that battery back inside. So now we have a live battery. We're going to close this up. Make sure you're not going to close the lid on any cords inside. We're going to plug this in. We're going to go to the back and verify we have a green light blinking. Okay, so now I've come back to the back. I still have a free floating cable and terminal plug on the end. Now it's keyed to a key inside the main unit. So what we're going to do is plug it in. Hopefully it's green. See, it's right on, and we see the blinking green light. It's great. So we now have power in the front. We have power going to the main drive unit. You can press up, you can press down, you can hear the main unit trying to work. So what that means is I can now, a little bit of slack out of here, I'm going to take it and cinch this right down on the cord. It's locked in, nice and tight, nice and watertight. Now we're going to go back to the front. We're going to secure that battery up there better using the Jackson Kayak Big Rig Battery Management Kit. Okay, so the battery management kit from Jackson Kayak consists of a thermoform tray that's sized to perfectly match the hull profile of the Big Rig, a front support pillar we'll set aside for now, and then a buckle strap that you hold in whatever battery system you want. Under that is a piece of the mini cell foam. Now this is for if you don't want to use a dry box or whatever other battery system you have. What you can do is you can trim this to fit whatever battery you have and hold it in place nice and securely. In our case, we're going to set that aside and discard it as well, because we're just going to set the main battery unit right on this. There's some non-skid pads here that you can peel and stick and put on your battery if you don't want it sliding around as much. So you'll see this is sized to fit under the support pillar in the front, and the reinforcement piece goes in here. Now I'm taking my battery management kit tray. It's unbuckled. I'm going to set it inside. And if you look in there, if you lift the front edge up, you can just shove, and it'll go underneath that front pillar. If you want to line it up, waddle it around a little bit, and wedge it right in place. Now I can take my battery and set it on that tray. You're going to want to set it to where the plug is facing out and forward. I can secure that with the buckle strap. Okay, so the battery tray's in. Have the front foam support pillar. Going to wedge that in place. Put it right here under the front lip. I'll hold that nice and securely. Now the cord I'd already set aside. Again, biggest positive, it's a keyed cord. Plug that in. And we're live. Now the cord inside, you can leave loose. You can secure the front pillar using zip ties. A lot of different methods you can use. In this case, I'm just going to pull the slack and set it there next to the battery. I'm going to place the front cover. Don't want to lose your tools. Okay, so our battery's secured up front. Our emergency release cable is installed. We have power going to the unit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close up the back, and then we're going to test function of the pull. So in the box front power pole come two controllers, both wireless. One is hard mountable. The black one is hard mountable. Press down, it goes down. Press up, it goes up. All the instructions are in the power pole manual. You can mount it with sticky tape next to where you sit. You can use the self-tapping screws, screw it in. Myself personally, I don't use it. Let's keep it set aside. What I do use, however, is a remote control from power pole that you can hang around your neck. You can tie off how you want. Also has the down function and the up function. That's all you need. So you'll need a girth hitch and secure that. Just put the cord through the hole, route the neck lanyard through. Just let you hang around your neck or hanging off anything you want. You can also just keep it right in the life jacket pocket, where it's really easy to see the buttons and initiate the controls. Put that aside. In this case, I have my stakeout, my power pole spike stored in the rod trough in the Big Rig. I'm going to go ahead and slide that in. Press down on the main controller. And there it is. If I press down, it goes down. Press up, it goes up. So we're ready to hit the water, ready to go power pole. So that's a quick install. That'll take you with basic tools, around 10-15 minutes, and you're ready to go hit the water. So make sure you read all the instructions from PowerPole. Familiarize yourself with how to program. Check your battery level. Look at how to program the unit for down pressure and force. Learn the unit inside and out. It's a great tool for fishing. As far as batteries go, obviously you're gonna have to one day recharge that battery. There's a lot of great products out there, from Goal Zero, if you want a solar solution. That's what I personally use. There are various ways you can recharge it in the car, various battery options. So stay charged, stay poling, have fun on the water. So let's talk a little sidebars here on recharging the battery and using your GoPro on the PowerPole spike itself. So battery maintenance is part of using any battery in a kayak. I use Goal Zero solar power systems. They make various sizes of Nomad panels. They also make rechargeable battery packs, in this case the Sherpa units, that you can actually use and wire to power your PowerPole. You can also use these as backup batteries that can recharge your battery itself using alligator clips and their Guardian charge controller. So you can use power panel combinations, Sherpa power packs if you're going to be on the water for days on end, or long periods, fishing tournaments where you can't get back to anything to recharge. There's a lot of options to keep that PowerPole unit powered. Now, once PowerPole has their rechargeable, attachable battery system, you have that at your disposal as well. So lots of options to keep powering your power drive unit. So one of the other great things about the PowerPole Micro Spike is it makes a great GoPro mount. Now, if you know Jackson Kayak, you know our love of GoPros and how well we integrate them in all of our kayaks. So using the phone app or the remote control, you can control your GoPro from the pole and get great aerial shots. Now, there's multiple ways to mount your GoPro to the pole. So as you know, all of the Jackson Kayaks come with a screw-in style GoPro base. Now, on top of the Micro, you'll see a 1/4-20 thread matched, so you can actually take the mount off your boat, screw it right into the top of the pole, click your camera right in, and go. Your other option is using the GoPro handlebar mount. You can mount that around the pole and control your camera, control the angle you want, and get great shots that way. So not only is it a great tool for stopping you, but it's a great tool for getting great action photos while you're on the water.